Hi all. Right, just in the process of just about to start turn 29, and what do you know, I'm going to be at it again. Um, Making some alterations. I guess maybe because I feel like the game's gone, it doesn't really matter about these things. Um, Also, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if this game is still going along, and would I feel like I was allowed to do this or not? And technically, the rules say that you're meant to finish an action phase on this side before you go over to the other side. I've not really seen at any point when that would have mattered at all. Doing an action on doing completing actions on this side, or think I'm completing them, going across this side, completing them, and then realizing, oh, I forgot about this, or I'd like to do this instead. I don't think it matters at all to the game. I think the reason that it's in the rules is because it's two different divisions, and it's just to keep the rules smooth that way. Maybe I'm trying to make excuses here. I don't know. But I'm not so sure I would feel like I was cheating if this game still was going along properly and I decided to come back here just before we started this turn and say, oh, I'd like to make an alteration. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that is taking it a bit too far and just going over the line a bit? I don't know. Let me know what you think. I mean, I'm one for sticking by the rules, so. But then you could say, well, you're breaking a rule here, Grant. You're not. You're supposed to have completed the actions on this side, so I guess I just feel that rule's not really relevant. It doesn't really do anything. I could maybe see some cases when it could. For instance, I've made an attack on, say, this unit that's in the middle of the sector here, and we've made an attack from this side, and we've revealed it, and then all of a sudden, like for instance, I waited because I was going to move this unit down first, wasn't it? He was in there, and I was going to move him down. And I thought, well, hang on, let's wait and see what the result of this is, just in case it changes my mind about moving down. So that's what I done. However, if I had not moved this, done the attack, revealed it, and then said, right, I'm happy, I'm done over this side, let's go over this side, and then came back and then realised that, oh, wait a minute, because. Or if the attack happened on the other side and I haven't moved this unit, coming back to the other side to then say, right, I'm going to move that unit down because now I know about that. That to me is like, that's because there's new information. That's kind of going too far, I think. So hopefully I'm bagging my way out of this. And it's the situation down here that I'm concerned about, and I still feel, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be changing my thoughts, but if orange fires, I mean, okay, the one good thing is it's a single orange position, so if double orange comes up in the card, we're safe. However, unless it's an R, because remember the R does resupply even if it's a single position. But if orange does fire, it really messes us up because this guy takes a hit, and he's the guy that's got the bazooka, and then we've only got 6 strength, and that's assuming this guy doesn't get hit as well. Then we've only got 6 strength. We're 6 against 6 without the weapons, so we're kind of screwed. There's nothing we can do there at all. If however, which I was considering, was moving that unit into there, and then we've got all the 3 of these here. If this does fire, mind you, I tell you what, see if it. Oh no, it couldn't, because that's unsteady and that's unsteady, so it couldn't hit both of these. Yeah, so we would be alright. We would still have 8 strength, We would definitely have 8 strength, and we would definitely have a bazooka, because this guy reduces down to a bazooka. That's what we looked at. So, and because he's revealed, none of them would be disrupted. This is just going on normal fire. I mean, yeah, if he does something else like the patrol, that could mess things up as well. I'm not sure. So it feels like that would definitely take care of that unit. Now, the downside to this is not only we're coming away for this purple position, which, okay, it's bad, but it's not. This is the more one that I'd like to be in. And if a blue R, no, doesn't have to be a blue R. An R comes up, well, it would need to be a red R, or there's another unit across there in blue that could redeploy in this sector. So a red R or a blue R, and more than likely one of the units with depth would move into there. So what do you fancy your chances with, Grant? I mean, what's the odds of a red R or a blue R, and what's the odds of orange on its own? This is why I maybe think that it's maybe safer just to take the chance with that. Because as long as it's not a single orange or a double orange with an R, then this should be okay. Of course, another one could be a purple A, which would ambush in there, and it would hit. Ambush needs a symbol, doesn't it? Yeah, so it would need to be a purple A with a circle. And to be honest, that would give us 6 strength against 6 with the weapons. Would that help? Attack strength equal, if we've got the weapons, it would actually disrupt them still. So that's not as bad. Yeah, but they've got this one here as well, so we could get a brown A with a diamond, and that would screw things up as well. There's lots of what ifs, isn't there? It's just that definitely takes care of that unit. That has risks, but that definitely takes care of it, but the risks are here. And, I mean, that technically could mean 6 points to us, because we've got 3 2-step units that could probably get off the edge of this map. Yeah, maybe I just leave it. Yeah, I think I do just leave it. I mean, the problem is that if this does mess things up, if it does get messed up, there's nothing I could do about that unit whatsoever. So, I suppose then it would just be this guy makes a dash for the exit. And this guy, well, what's left of him, he's probably going to be hit reduced, isn't he? He could potentially retreat back into here, maybe. Or he could try and go round and away. Okay. Well, after all that, I'm not going to cheat my way this turn. But I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are with that. I mean, I'm a by-the-rules kind of guy, as you know, so it's just when you look things over afterwards, and then you see, I mean, it's not, like I say, there's other information elsewhere on the map making me change my mind about this decision. It's just that I feel, well, there you go, I've decided not to do it in the end anyway, so obviously it's a tough choice between that and that, I think. Anyway, let me know your thoughts about the breaking of that, the bending of that rule, if you like. Okay. Well, that was the only thing to talk. Well, actually, I can't remember exactly where. I might come across them when I'm talking. Yeah. Well, there's one I remembered. what about this carry on up here, wasn't it? When I moved into here saying that I had this protected from withdraw, from German communication, it wasn't, and it could go around because it was going down the high ground here and all the units are on the draw, and it was going around and away. So all that carry on, that was a reverse move that I made from the last turn. All that carry on to get that there, to not actually protect that hex, that would have been terrible if we just got lucky that nothing wanted to try and redeploy in there or reinforce. I've since put that into there to make sure of that. But there was a couple other hexes I noticed, and I looked back on and I thought, you can't trace communication to that, Grant. You're gonna have to be careful. However, yeah. Oh, right, yeah. This is the other thing. What I've not been thinking about, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 turns left, and maybe some of you have noticed this and thought, right, you better watch that, Grant. When I say we've got this draw, it's not quite as simple as that. We need to control every hex in this draw, and it's probably fine as you go up here, but we've got to watch what we're leaving behind here. I mean, these garrisons do nothing. These 2 hexes here, I mean, at the moment this one's in our control because of this, but these aren't going to move up to the high ground. 29, 30, 31, 32, 29, 30, 31, 32, yeah, he can just get up and no more. But we've got to watch these hexes, and, well, we're talking about two draws here as well, and we're talking about this one as well. And here's me talking about moving this tank up here, but we're leaving these hexes behind, so something needs to come in, needs to be sitting. I mean, a unit sitting here controls both these hexes on the, if it's on the high ground, it controls both of these. But then you've still got this hex here. Hang on now, that's garrisoned, that's fine, okay, that works. So right away I'd looked at these 2 guys, and I know I'd sort of dashed them away and got them with the HQ, but I'm thinking, I mean, where are they going? The 4 turns left, what are they doing? So I'm definitely going to consider bringing these guys, or possibly, I mean, because I need these 2 hexes as well. I need a unit in here, for instance. That could potentially come from maybe this guy. I'm just going to have to watch, because there's quite a few hexes you've got to control, but I suppose bringing one of these down into this hex would be good. Would be good to control these 2 hexes, for instance. Or I suppose if I got them in there, it controls all 3 of these. Anyway, it's only these 2 draws that we're concerned about. So, but I do need to make sure that I've got all the hexes covered, or the 4 points we're not getting them. So that would be a rather big shame to like go all through that effort and then realise that I've not quite got it done right. Okay, yeah, so something to keep in mind, right? Right, we've got nothing to land this turn, however, we've got this anti-aircraft unit again. This never managed to make it. I did wonder, has he got time, if he landed, to try and control like one of these initial draw hexes? The problem is, I think we're down to low tide again now, so if he goes here, yeah, his landing hex is here. So that would be turn, and this is me only putting him in the beach landing box, so that would be turn 30, and then we'd have 31, 32, so he doesn't even get there. Great. And my guess is it's just the same on over here, isn't it? It will be low tide. 30. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, that is closer. So if I put them on E4, and the thing is, he would grab a free move from this as well. I mean, he's got to actually land first. So, and if he gets flipped, oh no, he's armored. That's good. So he does still control hexes round about him. So that would be turn 30, 31, 32, and then that gives us control of this hex, which means that I just need to put one of the guys down and they are covering these 3 hexes. This one's got a garrison. Well, in actual fact, this would control both of them anyway. So that looks like a plan. So I'll put an E4 then. And then that might free up a unit. Okay. I mean, the likelihood that it land on it needs... Well, it's got 2 chances, isn't it? A C or a D result. Okay. Right, so that's all that we're doing with the landing set checks, etc. So event, right, turn 29, first event card. Oh, I tell you what would be nice. I mean, I know I've had 2 of them recently, but if this went all wrong, a naval fire marker again would sort it out. So, just want to keep in mind. I know we've had 2 of them quite closely together, so the likelihood. But right, turn 29. Here we go. Well, okay, it's not a bad event. It's not doing us any good because I don't think the rockets have fired, have they? So if the German rocket artillery unit in WN69 has fired at least once, it is destroyed by US naval fire. This is a tough one to remember, but it'd probably be nice to have a wee counter that you put in a wee box somewhere to say that it's happened. I know it did happen in the first game I played, didn't it? But I don't have recollection of it happening in this game. I could be wrong, but it's not in my head anyway. And I do remember actually getting this event in the first game after it had fired, and remembering and taking note and saying, oh, that's good, that's going to get destroyed. So I guess that must mean that it probably would be in my thoughts, and it's not actually fired, so I'm assuming it just no event if that happens. The Screaming Mimes has not a card, or if the unit's already eliminated, no event occurs. Right. Well, if for some reason you remember me having that event, the Screaming Mimes, let me know. I don't recall it, admittedly. Okay, so yeah, let's just move on with Fire and East. Okay, so we don't want a single orange. Here we go. Oh, you're having a laugh. It's a cruel game, I tell you. It's a cruel game. Right, okay. Right, well, I'll go and mark potential activities. Okay, well, it's maybe not that bad. I mean, we didn't get red or blue. Well, it's not that blue position. It's this blue position that could redeploy. So, well, we would have got away with this, wouldn't we? Yeah. So that move, it turns out that move would have been the better move because now we're going to get hit here and whatever. Okay, but we do have Martin's tanks coming in. This guy's a purple. So I have no idea what he's going to do because all these are new. Right, this is on this wee chart as well. Oh, and by the way, I had a comment from it's Andrew somebody. Sorry, Andrew. um, he picked up one of the errors I made, but back a while back. It must be looking at, but it was him that created it. Man, I better get his name. Hang on. Yeah, it was Andrew Corson, and apparently he done these. He made these charts, put them up on BGG, which I've used ever since I started playing the game. To be honest, yeah, I find them really good. He did say that he normally would put them down below the map, down here, and ideally that would be better. However, up here I can have them under my plexiglass, and the only fault that I made was I kind of, let me zoom out here a little bit and show you. Well, this is really relevant, but I've got the map could have went quite more far across that side. You can see there's plenty of space over here. So if I'd moved everything across this way, then these would have been, in here somewhere, and more accessible and more easier to read. Whereas I'm stretching away up the end of the thing now. So that was my mistake. But yeah, I find them these charts great. Andrew, many thanks for doing them. And yeah, I'll keep using them anyway. Like I say, just next time I do it, I'll move the map along further. It's funny, once you start setting things out, you think, right, I've got this right, and then as soon as you start, once you put the plexi down and put counters on, of course, that's it, you're kind of stuck. Right, anyway, yeah, it looks like these, we haven't done, well, I haven't done this before anyway, so here's the actions here, and the optional armour German, optional variant German armour. I will open the page up as well though, since it's the first time that we've done all this. So we've got the R action. So let's just look at overrun. That doesn't sound too good, does it? So I'm just looking at it in the rulebook here as well. Just better do it in the rulebook first, because obviously these have been broken down a little bit. So, and this is 23.4 German armour actions. Action overrun. Move up to 4 hexes. If the first, second or third hex of the move is occupied solely by a non-armoured US unit, solely by non-armoured US units, move through that hex. All the units in the hex move through become disrupted. Stop if a hex occupied by US armour is encountered, or if a second US occupied hex is encountered. Or if the fourth hex of the move is occupied by any type of US unit. The German unit may not end its move in a US occupied hex. If no movement at all is possible and US units are in the unit's field of fire. Ooh, okay, that's a mouthful. Move up to 4 hexes. So yeah, so it's just one to move, but it's kind of stomping over us if we... So... Right, my guess is that they stay on the roads. Where are we? Right. 23.5 talks about German armour movement. When an action directs a German armour unit to move the unit the indicated number of hexes along connecting primary and secondary roads, if possible, within the following priorities. If a US unit is in the road hex within 3 connecting road hexes of the armour unit moves towards that US unit. If US units meet the above condition in more than one direction, move the armour unit in direction indicated by its movement orders. If no US units are within 3 connecting road hexes of the armour unit, move the armour unit in the direction indicated by its movement orders. And then movement orders say, that's the following bit. The German armour movement map shows the movement orders for all German armour movement. When directed to move an armour unit according to its movement orders, locate the unit's hex on the German armour movement map and move the unit in the direction indicated. And then it talks about road junctions, movement termination. Oh dear. Right, okay. There's quite a lot involved in this, isn't there? So, well, this overrun bit I don't think is going to do anything, well, apart from moving the tank. Because if I can see up there, I mean, my guess is it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, probably. My guess is it's probably going to end up in this hex, and you know what? It's then going to have, this unit will be in its field of fire. That's my thinking is what's going to happen. Move up to 4 hexes. If the first, second, or third hex is occupied, no, move that out of hex. Yeah. Right, yeah, I just need to find this movement map thing. Now that was in that wee booklet, wasn't it? Okay, give me a second. Okay, let's see if I can show you this. Just, I've no real place to put it down. I suppose I could maybe put it over there. Things are getting a bit messy now. I had to look at this myself. This is the route that we are looking at here. So B6, and it heads down to here. And then it's got 21104 hex. So what it does is once it gets down to this junction, it then turns towards 1104 and then it goes up this way. And its primary purpose is to then come down here and reach what their goal is to reach one of these pavilion hexes. And if a German armoured unit ends a turn in one of these three, there's 3 of them, 1, 2, and 1 here. If a German armoured unit ends the turn in one of them, you lose the game. So yeah, right enough. I mean, this guy's going to come down towards this junction, and then once it reaches, I'll swing across the map. So zoom out again, Grant. We can see it. So it's going to come down this road, and then once it reaches this junction, it's then reduced. It's then going to turn. This is hex 1104, which is on the map. So it's going to come down to there, and then it's going to go up there. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 down this road. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's what it's going to do. So then we need to look at, this was the bit that I eventually found that I didn't think I had. It's in that wee colour booklet. This is the German armoured fields of fire. Now it describes it in the book here, but basically if you look at this unit here, it's got, how does it work? Let me see. Field of fire. Yeah. So to determine a German armour unit's field of fire, first establish the intensity of fire in the hexes adjacent to the unit. So if the adjacent hex is a clear or a woods hex, then it's intense fire. If it's a bocage or a building hex, then it's steady fire. And And then it says, a clear hex is any hex on the high ground beach of a building and with no terrain. Right, okay. Then establish the intensity of every fire and every hex 2 hexes away from the armour unit and adjacent to a hex with intense fire from the armour unit. So then clear or woods not across a hedge hex side is intense, bocage building or across a hex side is steady. So it does sound a bit complex, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Basically what that's saying is, that's into a clear hex, so that's intense fire, and the hex adjacent to it, it's not crossing a hedge, and it's into a clear hex, so that's intense as well. Whereas coming down here, this one's an intense, and then this one crosses this hedge, so that's why it's steady. And same with this one, it's intense, and then this crosses this hedge into here, and it's steady. Intense, and this hex is a bocage hex, so that's why that's steady. And then this one from here to here, so this is adjacent, this is straight into bocage, so that's why it's only steady. Same with that, same with that. They're all bocage. Again, this one's clear, so it's intense. This crosses a hedge, so it's steady. So that's kind of how it works. So hopefully we should be able to understand that. So looking at the position we're in just now, then what is that 4 strength M316 unit sitting in now then? Well, this is bocage, and this is buildings. Ooh. That, I think that means he's not actually able to fire in there, is that right? Because he's firing steady fire into here because this is bocage. And then, because this is buildings, I don't think he's then able to clear that. So I don't think he fires into there at all. Whereas here he's got intense fire, and then here we'd have steady fire because it's crossing this hedge. And he can't reach down to here. So I mean, it is all 2 hexes. I think I made a comment recently about, what was it about the ambush action about? It doesn't say 2 hexes away, but all field of fire. Well, is that the case? Not when you look at the WM positions on the hanging over the beach. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think in general, the most that you're going to get is 2 hexes. However, let's not go into all that. So, yeah, so you can see it's not going to stretch down to here, but as far as I can see, I don't think he can attack that either. Don't think he's got field of fire on that. So that is, I've just looked at the symbol on the card and it's a circle. Which means both of these units are getting hit. Yeah, this looks like a let's try and get out of here situation, doesn't it? Let's run. Okay, well, that's my thinking on what this tank's going to do this turn. I mean, if it was to overrun again, you could see 1, 2, its third hex would move into here. And I think it said it would disrupt that, so it would go 1, 2, 3, 4. It would end here, and this unit would be disrupted. I think that was my reading of that overrun action, but we'll look more into it as it comes, and hopefully you guys can check that I've got that one right as well before we maybe make any further moves with the tank. Okay, so yeah, well, let's just double check with that. So it's orange, it's a single orange. Why could it just not have been, if it'd been a double, it'd been fine. It's got the M action, but it has US units in its field of fire. It's going to fire, it's going to hit this guy, and it's going to hit this guy, because he's got a circle. So they're both reduced. If I'd only done what I was going to do at the start of this turn and wind back that move, but you know what, if I'd done that, a blue R would have came up and something would have popped up in there. So we're looking for M316 and I316. Hang on until I find it. Okay, here we go. So he takes a hit So our catastrophic loss, that's up to 9, and then this guy takes a hit. And that's up to 10. So getting closer on this side now, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, this is finished. This is like, just get this guy along beside him, get one of them off the map, and either retreat with this guy in A3 or try and go around, I suppose. I mean, we weren't gaining an well, actually, we would have got a victory point for that hex, wouldn't we? Because it's, unless something occupied that, but yeah, not an awful lot happened, but the stuff that did happen was enough. Well, if it wasn't that, it'd be something else, wouldn't it? Right, we do have artillery on this card, but it's looking for 4 artillery positions. Now, we might still have the 2 up in the boxes. I'd like to think maybe one of them might be taken care of now as well. But we don't have any more on the map, so I'm not even going to look at the situation up the top. So that's that. German fire in the east done. Right, I'm going to have to take a wee break at a minute, so before I do the next fire card, so I'll hopefully just pause the camera, but just in case, I'll cut it here, and well, in case I need to cut it here. Okay, cheers. Well, right, I just managed to keep things paused there actually, so not been away that long. Right, so let's see if we can finish up the German fire phase at least. So fire in the west. Not sure what we do and don't want, but that's what I've got. Single red with an R, double green just hit an armor, double brown with a P action anyway. The circle. Right, okay, I'll go and mark some candidates. Okay, there we go. Most of the stuff down this side again. However, this one's going to be a problem. Looks like this guy's getting hit and they will get disrupted as well. So, and we did get flank on this, didn't we? Yep. Nah. Yeah, I wish I hadn't bothered about this area at all and just brought the units around and up, but well, hey ho. And we've got some more activation for the tank. I maybe shouldn't have mocked them last turn. That's them both going to do something this turn. Well, that just does have the armor symbol, which makes me think they're just going to... Oh, well, they can move, yeah, fire or move, it says, so... Yeah. Okay, so... well, this one, I marked this guy down here, double green, but it's just fire and armor, it's nothing to hit, so... Just marked it for the sake of it. And this double green's going to do the same. This is a circle, it's unsteady fire. So it is hit, and well, there you go. There's another catastrophic loss, so... that just shows you that I should have stayed clear. I should have stayed away from this area. A better idea would have been to have stuck with my original plan and just took everything away back into safety. So, yeah, well, you know what, I'm only a few turns from home. I'm as well just sticking with it, I think. Because the more catastrophic loss units I've got down here, the less units I've got the chance of gaining victory points as well, so I suppose it might balance it out a little bit. Anyway, I'm not trying to say that if I got 40 victory points somehow that I would class it as a victory. I'm quite accepting the fact that we lost this one. Right, and I think that's all he's firing into, is just that hex there. Yeah, so that's all that guy's doing. Right, so moving along, right, well now we're at the tank, so... If any US units are at field of fire, it'll fire. If no US units are field of fire, move up to 4 hexes. So this is the move up to 4 hexes, but okay, so where's he likely to be going? Down this road here, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go bring him right down to here. So let's just check that road map again to see. What's just the road? There's a road up there. It's this road here, right? Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's heading right down to G3, which is down here. That's his where he's heading first, and then he actually then he moves on down into here, and this target hex is oops. So he's planned to moving right down to G3, and then he continues on down to here, and this is his exit hex. What is it they call it? I don't know. Termination hex. And that's where he would settle and cause the game to come to an end. So okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to make a move. So 1, 2, 3, 4 down the road. Now going with the field of fire situation now. That right, sorry, I got cut off there with the app thing again. So yeah, I was talking about where he's ended up in field of fire. That is a buildings hex, so it's steady fire into there, and that's blockage, so I don't think it actually fires into there. And as for this guy, that's buildings, and that's buildings, so I don't think he's got a field of fire into here either. Just look at that, right? Just look at an example where there's buildings. I think that's right. Fortunately, there's no examples in the book don't actually have buildings. Well, they have one where it goes blockage and then buildings, but it doesn't reach the building. So that's the way it works. That's the way it works. If that had been a clear hex, then yeah, he would have had steady fire in there. And here as well. But okay, so well, I hope the attacks don't keep going, because 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, and then he's in the hex he needs to be in to put an end to things. And if that happens, I think I would just throw the towel in, because I don't think we've not got a force to stop that tank. So hopefully it starts firing rather than moving. No, like I've just said to you, the fact that it's not got in its field of fire, just now it would start moving again. But I don't know, what does that say? That says if a US unit is in a road hex within 3 connecting road hexes of the armour unit, which would be the case if this was to move now. It's only 2 hexes away. The armour unit moves towards that US unit. If US units meet the above condition in more than one direction, move the armour unit direction. If no US units, right. This says it moves towards it. So that one maybe he can't actually move through them. It's only that overrun that allowed them to move through, maybe. When a German position is occupied by a German armour unit. Right, okay. Right, yeah, I think that's right. I think that's all he's going to do. So, okay, so moving on, we have red here again, just firing, but he's only got this in his sights, and it's the R action, but he's a WN, so nothing doing there. No. This is a... I think maybe that could stop. I thought this guy was maybe going to get away this time. But this is maybe going to do the patrol. The double brown with a P. Patrol. And I don't think it's got any US units unsteady or... Where are we? If there are no US units in the positions intense for steady field of fire, place a disrupted marker on just one US unit within 3 hexes of the position. 1, 2, 3. And I don't think it matters about the symbol, does it? 1, 2, 3 doesn't reach down to there. He's not got any units in his steady or intense field of fire. It talks about regardless of target symbol. So if there are no US units in the positions intense or steady field of fire, place a disrupted marker on just one US unit within 3 hexes of the position. If there's more than one, well, there's not more than one. This guy is just determined. He's just not destined to get away, is he? So that's that, and then finally, yeah. Oh yeah, I did look at this. I thought it maybe fired into here, but oh no, it does. It fires into here. So again, this is another situation where if it didn't have that unit there, it would want to redeploy. So it wants to resupply and fire. It's already got depth. It's going to fire into there. However, this is a triangle, although it doesn't matter. He's already disrupted anyway. And that's that. Okay, so I think that's... I think that's the fire phase done with. Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? Obviously what happened over in the west, well, we'll just have to abandon that orange position now. This as well makes me think it's a... I don't have the flank, this guy's disrupted now. Let's be had another catastrophic loss. I mean, all I could do here is possibly move up. Admittedly, it might be trying to shut this unit off because he can't escape. Just while we're there though, I think I forgot about disruption removal here. Yes, I have. Which is a bit of a bummer. However, we still have the firepower to put that down again, don't we? And then over this side, it was orange that was disrupted. We didn't have orange on the card, so that's staying disrupted at least, so that's good. Because it does mean we can maybe manoeuvre around it. And I might as well just go in for that now. I'm locked into this situation anyway, so I'll maybe end up with more catastrophic loss units, but hey ho. Okay, so right, we've got an event to come though. The one the day before, well, last day was rather nasty, wasn't it? Well, I'll tell you what, this, oh no, it couldn't. I was going to say the naval fire marker could maybe still get us out of this situation, but we don't have the bazooka. So, and naval fire does not bring bazooka. So even that doesn't help us here. So I'd rather not see a naval fire marker, it's just going to make me feel worse. Right, okay, so second event, turn 29. Here we go. Move the next card out. What we got? Depth, not had depth for a while. Which is still a bad thing. Oh, 11 to 20 was taking naval fire marker. Right, add a depth marker to one German unit in each sector. Okay. Well, you know what? That could be the candidate there. And that means it doesn't matter. because I don't care about that. So, well, yeah, I think it's not even, well, I'll bring the page up, it's 9.2, isn't it? German unit closest in X's to US unit. Well, yeah, this is the only unit in this sector that doesn't have depth. It is adjacent. It's in blockage, so it is going to get a mobile depth marker. And that's definitely sealed that unit's fate. It's just going to be left to do what it wants now. And so across the other side, this guy gonna get depth, maybe. I think so, isn't it? I mean, this WN position doesn't have depth, but it's not adjacent. So the only unit that we're adjacent to that doesn't have depth in this sector is this one. Yeah. So choose a German unit closest in the hexes. Yeah, that's it. It's another no-brainer. So unfortunately, another mobile depth marker. Only 2 left now in the pool. So that's going to make this even harder now. I'll plod on with these units that are here and we'll just see what happens. And then, yeah, let's just get to the end, Grant. Okay, that's event done. All good. Right, HQ engineer phase. This one's maxed out. 137 is the one that we want to move up to 2, so that's good. We didn't get any artillery fire, no. We did actually. Well, it was on the car, but it didn't happen. So this now has a range of 2. So we can garrison this. And that's that. Oh, I'll tell you what, well, let's just get this finished as well, but there was something I was thinking about. So yeah, that's that, and then that HQ's maxed. So then we go across this side. We're not placing a new one, but we do have the ability to put this up to 5 range now, so that is good. So we still know we can't garrison that. We've already grabbed A2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we cannot garrison that because orange is still firing into that. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we can get that purple position. No, we can't because brown's still there, isn't it? Yeah, this guy's been. Oh no, he's just established. Right enough. Yeah, that's all I can do then, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, what I had been thinking about is, well, let me think again if I've got this right. When it says about, I'm talking about the WM positions that you're getting the minus points for. For each WN hex you do not control. Okay, that doesn't work then, does it? Because if I put one of these units into here, I don't control this hex because orange is firing into it. Now, I think we did come to the conclusion. Now, this is where it the rules are a bit iffy, and this is regarding the two hex positions. Throughout the game, we've decided that, even in the first half of the game, you need to control both these hexes, the whole position, but this just says a WN hex not under your control. So again, I've decided that I do control this hex. So please tell me if I've got this wrong. And well, this will be in my summing up, so it'll depend on what victory points I end up with, because it might be that I don't control this and this is another -1. Now my thinking is that if I have both of them, that's not any good, because I don't control this because orange is firing into it. But orange isn't firing into this hex. So that's my thinking of it, but let me know if I've got that wrong. So there's nothing at all I can do about that hex. But I was further along, I was thinking, well, this eventually could, basically the last turn of the game, mind you wouldn't need an action for it. You want to move that back into there, because you can control this hex, but you can't control that hex. I'm just leaving that there because it's feels like a better place for it to be. I might need to be careful though and change that up, because the last thing I want is that to be disrupted on the last turn of the game and not be able to move it down, so I'll need to watch that one. Where was it I was thinking about? Oh yeah, this was it. It was that tank, because that tank could actually be sitting in this hex. Because it's behind the shingle. And as far as I'm aware, there's no... That's just pavilion. It's not got a road though. There's pavilion. There's pavilion. Where are you? Oh, it's just up the top. Pavilion, draw. Yeah, I just thought I had to check there, but yeah, pavilion hexes, it doesn't matter if there's a road or not, so it could have moved into there, and I suppose that'd be my thinking to move that along there, but I could just as easily move that unit down. In fact, why have I not done that already? I'll tell you why. It was actually, it's not just to keep that and field of fire, because there's other units here in the field of blues fire anyway. It was because of the orange position earlier, wasn't it? We don't need to worry about that, so I can actually move that down to there now. As long as I've got a spare action, so that's fine. Yeah, and then most other hexes are actually garrisoned anyway. It's strange though, I mean, if you think about the rule going along, well, yeah, here in fact. Here's me saying that I can't garrison either two of them, but I'm actually saying that I control that hex. So maybe I do have that wrong. Maybe I can't control any of the hexes because blue's firing into there. I don't know. You'll need to let me know, Martin, before we get to counting up some numbers, because that'll mean quite a few minus WM positions, I think. Okay, so where did I get thrown from that? We're in the HQ phase. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we're done. I think we're done with that. Yeah. So yeah, just about to move on to the US action phase, but I think I'll cut there, and then we'll probably put this out as a part, and then I could do with taking another break as well, actually. Yeah, okay, right, so I'll be back with the turn 29's US action phase shortly, guys, okay? Cheers.